Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call this meeting to order. And if you can you please stand with us and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I need a roll call, please.
Present.
Here.
Alderman Edwards.
Here.
Present. Thank you. Okay, we had roll call. Now we have Pastor. Would you lead us in prayer?
Good evening. Shall we pray? Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. We come blessing the Lord on tonight, thanking him for another day, another chance, and another opportunity. We come praying for our mayor, our council members, our fire department, our police department, all the men and women who serve this great community. We pray that may the Lord bless the residents of Country Club Hills. May the Lord bless our troops, and may God bless America. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. At this time, I need journal proceedings.
Journal proceedings, approve of regular city council meeting minutes, September 27, 2021.
Alderman Lockett.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. If there's no questions, roll call, please.
Alderman Lockett.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Edwards.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next report, we have communications and report by the mayor. The city sent out a robocall today. We are having, the mayor and the police department is having a town hall meeting on Wednesday here at our pavilion across the street at 6 o'clock. We're asking all residents to come out and so that we can talk about the issues that have been occurring in our communities, in our community. So that'll be Wednesday this week. That's the 13th, October the 13th at 6 o'clock at the pavilion. And I believe there also will be an opportunity for citizens to Zoom in.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're not in person, you can also Zoom in to that meeting on Wednesday, October the 13th at 6 o'clock p.m. With that, we'd like to go to the city clerk's report.
Okay. City's clerk's report, Hispanic Heritage Month, as National Hispanic Heritage Month comes to a close on October 15th. The city would like to acknowledge and thank all of our residents and employees of Hispanic descent for their continued contributions to the city of Country Club Hills. Upcoming events, branch pickup will be October 16th, north of 183rd Street, and street sweeping will be October 18th, north of 183rd Street. October 22nd, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Think Pink Day is Friday, October 22nd. In the spirit of supporting those who are battling, survivors, and those who have earned their angel wings due to breast cancer, we ask everyone to please wear pink at the October 25th council meeting and consider donating towards breast cancer research. October 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, the EDC Shred Day will be at the theater parking lot. October 30th from 4 to 6 p.m., Halloween event at the theater east side in the semicircle. Halloween is Sunday, October 31st. Trick-or-treat hours are 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Masks and social distancing are appreciated, and all children should be accompanied by a parent or adult. End of report.
I believe on the Halloween trick or treat on the 30th, that's a Saturday, correct?
Correct, yes.
And we'll have like a trunk or treat in the parking lot. And we also have something similar to that on
Sunday.
What time?
2 to 5.
2 to 5 on Sunday as well. So there'll be 2 opportunities for our children to come to City Hall, to City Hall campus, and receive treats. That way they don't have to risk going door to door. We will provide the safety for them here. So please take notes of those dates. Okay, so next on the agenda, we have the Finance Committee, Committee's report, and then we have the Finance Committee and Finance Insurance Risk Management, Alderman Lockett, Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor. Seeking council's approval for the vouchers in the amount of $752,447.88.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly motioned and second. Are there any questions?
Yeah, may I be recognized, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did mention the finance meeting, but for the benefit of the department heads, you know, I mean, we have some vehicles in there, Mayor, and we have to make sure that, you know, when we're approving these vouchers, these items are actually brought to the board prior to us having to vote on them, instead after the fact. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case with this or not. I have Nina was checking in it, but we can't recall that the purchase is already made. So at this point, you know, what do we do? I mean, it's already voting on something that's already in the vouchers. You know, whether we hold back or not, the purchase is made. So obviously there was a contract and agreement. Just moving forward, I just want to make sure expenditures for the department head, either if it's not in the budget, it comes to the council prior. That's all. I mean, prior to.
Okay. The three vehicles in question was ordered way back before COVID.
Right, I understand,
And
but they
we
weren't. They're not in the budget. If they were, they still.
Well,
should have
I'm
been.
going to explain to you exactly where the funds are coming from. The funds are coming from the police DUI funds and the siege refunds to pay for 2 of those, and 1 of those is through a grant.
Right, and I think that, but the total about there is some funds coming from the general fund. That doesn't equate to the total amount.
I understand.
So I mean, and it's just, man, that's just my concern. It's not the first time we've seen things like that, and then we just voted on. We had the lease agreement we voted on. That discussion should at least been brought up to the alderman at that time, or just a reminder. Hey, just letting you know, we may have been able to negotiate up front something with that in that lease. That's
Okay. I'm glad you said that, so I can explain that too. The enterprise lease that the alderman approved, you will not see any vehicles from that lease until midsummer 2022. And so the 3 vehicles that we are acquiring now, they will also buy those and add them to that lease for enterprise, and that way we don't have to pay those. They'll come through the lease program as well.
so they're supposed to reimburse us then whatever amount we come out with.
I believe that's how it works, but I'll let you know. Anything else, Alderman?
No,
Davis?
that's it, man.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Lockett,
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Edwards,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
The other thing is with the insurance and risk is that we're getting numbers together for the renewal, so we should be seeing those within the next week or 2 or the 1st of November. Our renewal is by December 31st, end of my report.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next, we have law and ordinance. Alderman.
There's
is not
no
here.
report at this
Alderwoman-
time.
Alderwoman Evans is not here. We have Public Works and Utilities, Alderman Davis, Chair.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Just a couple of things. We're in the process of starting to put the street lights up at the 183rd Street, the Pulaski intersection, and we just started the project on Cap Court to help alleviate some of the water issues the residents were having out there. And I know, Mayor, we did look at 187th Street. Had companies come out, I think it was Sunset, to look at ways to help particular residents. So,
Okay.
all right, that's the end of my report.
All right. I believe Public Works has already been out to that resident already. Okay. Next, we have the Economic Development Planning Zoning, Alderman Spivey.
There's no report at this time.
Excuse absent. Okay, great. And we have Education, Parks, and Rec, Alderman John Edwards.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We met last week, me and Mrs. Evans. We put together some information. I will be talking to the principal of Hillcrest this week. Also, I will be meeting with the seniors this week, and I also will be attending the Park District meeting at 6 o'clock, October 21st. And I have also talked to a law firm and a judge who have volunteered to work for putting Career Day together so that we would have people that represents all phases of life, from normal working people to architects to judges to lawyers. They're ready, and now we're just waiting on a date to go into the schools. End of my report.
All right, thank you, Alderman. Next, we need a motion to open the floor to the public.
Motion to open the floor to the public.
Second.
It's been properly motioned and second. I need a roll call, please.
Alderman Lockett.
Yes.
Alderman Davis.
Yes.
Alderman Edwards.
Yes.
All right, public, if you would like to speak to the council and the mayor of the council, please come forward. Limit your time to 3 minutes, and you can watch the screen, hit a countdown for you. Good evening.
Alderman Evans had a town hall meeting last week regarding the cube. And it's a shame that a town hall meeting occurred after the building and everything and improvement in terms about for as the residents being involved. Nowhere in America, and I'm going to be brief, will a company come into a residential home setting where about individuals paying $300,000, $500,000 for homes with 18% tax, paying 18,000 in taxes or beyond. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. And I don't know what aldermans, I don't know what research, what work you done in order to find out, but that is criminal in terms about what has happened, in terms of a Clayco, and I call their names out, and their contractors to come in and build a logistics place into a community and disrupt a community with dust, with pesticides, and you don't even know whatever else that's in there. But I'm gonna leave that alone. That's for another day. From out of that meeting, one of the things that I heard was that residents was being charged with overpayment of their water bill. Who was gonna pay for that? Because evidently it wasn't the residents' water. It was probably from open hydrants that Clayco used in order to be able to calm the dust down. But if that tells you that they were using water to calm the dust down, do you know how much dust probably got past that? So this tells me is that, I don't know, as aldermans, evidently you don't care about the people that lives back in that area, and that's sad. And I'm not gonna bite my tongue on that there, because evidently if you go back there and you find out what has happened to people in that area, you got dust flying into their homes, you got heat, their air conditioning units is filled up with dirt, people suffer from respiratory problem, our kids get out there on the corner, they gotta catch the bus, and all of that mess that this board here created. But anyway, I would like to know who's going to pay for the water bill. Is that something that was that has been paid? Is Clayco going to pay for that? If Clayco going to pay for the water bill that they stole from the city, because that's criminal to use water that was from other residents, and then they was charged, and then now the city say, well, we're going to just wipe it clean. That's criminal.
You're done. Your
Okay.
time is up, Mr. Green.
Thank you, sir.
I have to address some of the things because, you know, sometimes we, because of a lack of information, things get said, and so the residents are not being charged for the water that Clayco is using. There's a water meter attached to the hydrant that calculates every penny of water, every drop of water that they use. Is that not right, Public Works? Can you come up, put your head in the door, and tell us where that's located at? Jerry, at the Water Department. Secondly, while he's coming, there's been at least 5 different meetings about this project before it happens. It started 2 years ago. The residents have been involved, and we've had a zoning board meeting. We've had the developer to come to City Hall here and present the plan. All of that happened. So for someone to say that it never happened, that's an untruth. And that's why I have to make sure that when you walk out of here, at least you know the truth. Can you tell them where that water is and what's going on with it? Thank you. And so we're not giving free water to anyone. So I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on that. Next person.
Thought this was public portion of the meeting. Harry William Jones Jr. Our city is in a crisis. It's in a crisis because the mayor had a convicted felon that has 3 full-time jobs. Something wrong with that. I don't know anybody sitting in this audience can work 3 full-time jobs. Don't make sense. I put in a request for information. The clerk responded to it. My request was about an event at the theater for May the 8th. She responded. She had no information. Nobody turned any money. They didn't spend any money. Well, they did. Somebody went there. Matter of fact, Alderman Lockett was there. The mayor was there. Alderman, I think you had on a white tuxedo.
It was pink.
Oh,
P-I-N-K was
okay.
pink.
Okay.
I was there, yes.
All right. Reclaim my time. Reclaim my time. Back on the clock. When a person speaking, another person can interrupt him. It is my time. Reclaim my time, please. May I have my time reclaimed? I mean, my time's clicking, and he took up some of my time.
You can get 5 seconds, sir. That's all it took for him to make that statement.
Anyway, they didn't collect no money. This is a copy of a ticket, and this ticket's 322. So at least they sold 322 tickets. Nobody turned in any money. Somebody stole some money. Somebody stole some money. Where's the money? Dysfunctional government. Alderman, I had a question to you about your colleague that works 3 full-time jobs. You said you didn't have a problem with it. I guess you don't have a problem when you work for him, for the city of Markham, the janitorial service. That sounds like nepotism to me, political cronyism. I wouldn't have a problem if I worked for my boss. Something wrong. We have $30 million approximately to come through the city. It goes through one bank, and they ain't paid a dime interest. Not one dime. Something wrong. Something wrong. I see they having a town hall meeting. That meeting should be the resignation of the mayor. That's what it should be. He's going to talk about something that happened. Where's the plan to keep it from happening? He ain't got no plan. He ain't got no plan. Dysfunctional government and a mayor can't think outside the box.
Thank you, sir. Someone else? Anyone else? And he leaves as usual. You know, it's total disrespect. You know, no one
What
can
time
do
is-
anything but him. Go right ahead, sir.
Zachary Domis, 5019 180th Street. My concern is still with the Project Cube, which is a logistic building. I want to know, did you meet with anyone or have a concern or address the issues we had at the last meeting about meeting with the project manager? When you had mentioned about the water meters that's on the hydrants, when this project started and they started moving the earth, they were using the water for approximately 1 week. After that 1 week, there was no water being used to help settle the dirt and the dust. They're not using the meters on the hydrant because they're not doing that. And that's when all the dust started forming. Some men was riding in a four-wheeler today. I guess they was part of the manager of the project that was going on. They stopped. I only see them talk to me and another neighbor. They asked me a couple of questions. How was it going? I asked them, you know, what was being done to do the dust and everything. They said we had the water thing going on. And once I asked them, why did y'all just now come to us after a whole month of this going on? They decided to go ahead and pull off because they didn't want to address my concern. I was at that meeting that you had with the residents that when the company came that bought them, who had bought the property. I was here at that meeting. You barely let any of us really speak. You only allowed 1 or 2 people in that room, and you could have had it out here like you had it here during that time. But because you didn't have that, people concerns was almost to just a minimum. Y'all already had in place what y'all was going to do. So it was no use of us even having that meeting. You saying what was put out. Things could have been put out a little bit better than what they were about this project being done. Like we mentioned in the meeting on Thursday we had last week, you put things out, they put things out about the branches, about the mother and father meeting, dance and everything. Why wasn't there anything put out talking about this project that was being done? It's impacting our community. It was nothing out there like it is in the water bill. Will we have our things addressed? Are we going to meet with the project manager? Are our concerns going to be met? We can keep talking about this, but if nothing is going to happen, then it just comes to the point where why are we having a meeting? Why would we have been here before if we're not having anything done now? And the last thing, can we please do something about these red light cameras? 183rd and Cicero, 175th and Cicero, 167th and Pulaski. It is crazy that we do it.
Thank you, sir. Next person, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I agree with what was been said by
You
my
have to give your
neighbors.
name.
What's your name, please?
My name is Maddie Bogan, and I am a Country Club Hills resident, 179th and Laverne. And I was here earlier in the year when the city met with the, the owners of this property.
Developers.
Developers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We were told at that time that nothing was going to happen, that we would be notified when things were going to start, if they were going to start. Then we were told, then at that meeting, I asked why couldn't we be notified like we do for everything else? We knew nothing about this. Apparently, this has been going on for the last 2 years. We were told that nothing was going to happen, but all of a sudden, I come home one evening and trees are being cut down. Everything was done, everything was in place, except the residents didn't know about it. And I think we deserve an explanation. We deserve to talk to the developers before anything else is done. And I hope we get some responses.
Next person, please.
Marnita Martin Harris, 177 Sycamore. I've only been here for 6 years, and I've noticed increased criminal activity. Monday night was a drive-by shooting right on the block. Police didn't seal off the crime scene immediately, which I didn't understand. 3 cars were allowed to roll up in there. 2 guys walked up in there, said their car had been shot up, and they chased the shooters. This is very alarming because I didn't move out here from the west side of Chicago for this. I don't see the police presence the way I want to, and I do understand that everybody's budget is impacted. But I do see the people rolling around to ticket us if we have some citations. So I'd just like to make a suggestion that maybe if they can probably double duty, roll around a little bit more so we can see a presence in the communities. And then I was informed that tonight's meeting was about the shooting, which it clearly is, and it's a regular business, your council meeting. But I came here to know what's going to happen because then Tuesday night, there was another shooting in Country Club on 190.
That's Wednesday. Can we talk about that Wednesday night, ma'am?
So the information we received allegedly from, and I didn't hear it firsthand from Mr. Lockett, but the block came together and said that Alderman Lockett said it would be tonight.
Okay.
So maybe that's misinformation. I didn't hear from him directly.
Well, I apologize. Perhaps I didn't put it out in time, but the meeting, I wanted the citizens to be able to sit down with the police department and ourselves tomorrow and have a family discussion about what's going on in the community and see what we could do collectively together to stop some of the violence that we're having. We can't have that discussion tonight, so
Thank you.
tomorrow, Wednesday would be the time to sit down and have that discussion.
Mr. Mayor, Leroy C. Barnes, President of Country Club, 180-105 Sligo Way.
Yes, sir.
Not to be the dead horse, but I think one of the things, main things, 2 things, or maybe 3 things that came out in the meeting that we had with Alderman Evans. That was the first time she had a town hall meeting. That was good. But the main thing that came from that meeting, Mr. Mayor, is that the people have a real concern, and what they would like to see happen is that you call upon the construction company to have a town hall meeting with us, with you, and them to answer the questions that the aldermen and the people that were other representatives that were there that night, they were not able to answer. And for them to write all the information down and the questions down and say, we'll get back with you. I think the main thing can happen is that you have a talk with them, they come here and explain to the residents, answer the questions. One of the gentlemen made a mention that when they was building where I live at, Churchill Downs.
Churchill Downs.
The developer, because of the dust and things of this nature, they provided funding of some sort, relief for the residents, as well as some type of filtration to help the residents to get past those issues that they were having. So those are the kind of conversations and discussions that need to be met with the Clydeco. It's a very nationwide company. They're very wealthy. And so I don't think it'd be asking too much of the residents for them to come before us without you all be subject to all the questions that you all can answer that they can. The other thing that came out is that what Dumas said, information that's disseminated today, I got 2 texts before I got here. One was about the town hall meeting that's going to be Wednesday. That's good, because some of the questions that people had that night was about the shootings. And then the second thing was about this meeting tonight. So the information that we get in the water bills is very informative. Going forward, we talked about the board meetings. Alderman Evans explained to us it's at random. But if we get notified in time, we can attend those meetings as well, so we can have our input, so that when things come out, we're not left in the dark and it's an after effect. The water bills, get all the information about the brushes. if we can get information about meetings and things of that nature that's concerned the residents of this community, it's better that way if we communicate. And I think things will run a lot smoother. So that's the end of my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Appreciate it. You know, also, we have all these meetings posted on our website, the city website. You can get the dates and the time for all of our meetings, but I definitely will take your recommendations under consideration, sir. Close the floor to the public.
Motion to close the floor to the public.
Second.
It's been probably motion second. Are there any questions? No? Roll call, please.
Alderman Lockett?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Edwards?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next, we have automatic reports. We'll start with, did I start last? Okay, start with Alderman Davis.
I
Sorry
don't
about that.
I don't have anything at this time.
Okay, Alderman Lockett.
Mayor, first, I'd like to address the concern of May 8th of Mr. Harry Leaveout Jones. That was a city event which
Yes, it was.
all the aldermen received
Tickets.
50 to 100 tickets free. The event was for Mother's Day. It was first coming off the pandemic.
Yes.
The Shining Star, who travels all over the world, do their show. They brought it here to Country Club Hills. The show, it was free. And in return, they did the 4th of July show for us here at the city at no charge. So there you have it. That's the event. Good luck with your investigation. There was no money to be turned in because it was free. There was no money to be made. And that was the same with the 4th of July. City event, it's free. It's welcome to the public, family, and friends.
So where did the $30 million come from? You guys are the finance committee, right? Can you explain to me where that came from, $30 million?
I
That
think
was
he's
just-
speaking of the budget.
It's just the budget, Mayor. He was talking about the revenues, the budget.
Okay.
Like 21 million, then the water, 7 million. He was speaking.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
And I also like to address the fact Harry Walkout Jones is not here to hear this, but to say that Mr. Roderick Power has 3 jobs, he can't name the 3 jobs as one. Secondly, is that I do have a contract with Markham, and I had that contract before, 8 years before he became the mayor. So I don't think I should surrender my contract because he became the mayor. And he's been my friend for 40 years. And I'm not going to surrender him as my friend either, not for Harry Jones. Okay? Mr. Powell served the capacity here as the fire chief for Country Club Hills. And he came in his door, and within 2 weeks, he saved the residents of Country Club Hills $482,000 with the fire department, which can be Googled, which hit the Southtown Star and every other newspaper. I commend him, and I thank you for the services that you have provided for this town. And now he's back, and he's serving in 2 capacities. He's serving as assistant fire chief, and he's running our public works department. So now we're getting 2 for 1, and I welcome him, and he's doing a great job. If you look around the neighborhood, a lot of trees are being trimmed, different things, streets are being repaired. I welcome you back, Chief, Mayor, with your 3 jobs. And that's going to be the end of my report. Thank you.
All right.
Let me just say this also. I know when we hear something in our community, we get a little alarmed. But believe me, I work throughout the Southland here, and there are shootings in Hazel Crest. There was 2 in South Holland this week. There was 2 in Markham. There was 3 in Hazel Crest. Matson had 2, and 1 in Richmond Park. So it's just not our town. It's the people that come to our town, or come through our town, or some of the people that we need to get out of our town. You know, that's why we kind of watch and try to keep our eye out about the rentals of these homes, because the landlords don't care who they rent to, and they're just dropping everybody off in our community. And we're working closely with the crime-free housing to have these people in these troubled homes, for them to be removed from our community. Thank you. Into my report.
Thank you, sir. Alderman
In
Edwards.
response to May the 8th concert, I would think that if it was such a free concert, that the whole city council should have had their names on the pluggers, and the residents should have been notified through a text message or through the water bill. I did not receive 50 to 100 tickets. I did receive some, but not 50 to 100. And if it's some free, should be planned not by 2 people, but by the whole city council. Okay, my next things. I have a meeting November the 4th at 5:30 for the Education Committee. I'm asking the mayor and the city council to provide with some emergency work on potholes, street repair. I also am asking and very disappointed in how 175th Street, that park inside where we had a concession stand that was beautiful, is rotten completely out. And I know you care about young people. That should be a priority to get somebody over there and fix on that concession stand area on 175th. Also, I believe that I was the alderman with Lisa at the Cube where they discussed it. And again, I wasn't an alderman at that time, but I would have had some problems with something being so close to the residential area. I would have probably suggested a retention wall be built to protect the wind from blowing over there. I would have probably asked that it be so many miles away from a residential area. And again, I feel your pain because I came to your meeting and I heard the complaints. So again, as Alderman of Ward 1, you have my support. Next, I would definitely like to sit down and get something in writing pertaining to my streets. My residents are tearing up their cars. They can't move around, the potholes. So I'm asking the mayor to give me somebody to come out there and go over the streets. I was told I would receive a list of streets that were gonna be repaired. It's been about 3-4 weeks. I'm still looking in the mailbox for it. End of my report.
All right, thank you. Just a couple of things before we adjourn tonight. As far as the Cube is concerned, I've heard a lot of complaints from Mr. Grain and some other residents. The EPA have also looked at that issue over there, and the EPA has not found the same issues that the residents and Mr. Grain is complaining about. So I would like, just for clarity, for you guys to present issues. Just don't come to the council meeting and talk about issues. Present specific issues. If the vents are being clogged up, then have a professional air-conditioned person to come out and verify that and show that to us in writing. Okay, if your pool has dirt in it from that project, have someone to come out and do an evaluation and present that to the city. You just can't come to any administration meeting or business meeting and say, this is the problem. There's got to be backup. Okay, there's got to be due diligence done. Okay, we can't bring Cube in here because we don't have any true evidence that these things are happening until you present it to us. Okay, and so the EPA, they investigate everything. There's no asbestos in the soil over there. I don't know where that came from. There haven't been a farm there in 30 years. And someone saying, well, the soil is corrupt. How do you know that? The EPA didn't tell us. And we go through every step. Sir, are you videotaping? Yes, sir. Okay. Whatever you do with the video, make sure you state everything word by word truth.
The video's
Okay, I'm just telling you, sir. I'm just telling you. Just want to give you fair warning. So, the EPA will have already done their due diligence. We'll bring them back. The EPA is going to tell you more than anyone else can tell you because this is what they do. This is what they do throughout the state of Illinois. And so, as it was stated by some of the residents, they stated that we did have meetings with the residents. And on the other hand, someone else came up and said we didn't have any meetings. So that's where the conflict is. We don't exactly state the truth sometimes. Ma'am, this is my report. Ma'am, please. Ma'am, you cannot. Ma'am, due respect. And due respect, ma'am. Officer, please. Ma'am, I have to have you removed because you're out of order. Yeah. Sir? So much for us working together. Okay, so I think that was basically it on the theater. There was no money collected for the May 8th situation. And so with that, I'm done with my report. So on Wednesday, we asking all the residents only, to please come and sit down and have this town hall meeting with us. Okay, the pavilion is directly across from City Hall at the theater campus, if you don't know where that is. It'll be residents only meeting.
Motion to close the floor to the public. I'm sorry, motion for adjournment.
For adjournment. I need a second.
Second.
It's been probably second. Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Lockett?
Yes.
Alderman Davis?
Yes.
Alderman Edwards?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to speak to the alderman or the mayor, please come forward.